Tune in to the Deep Hot Show.
Group of disenfranchised men under the age of maybe 35 who are maybe not very wealthy, don't know what they're doing, and they don't have any luck with women whatsoever. They're completely lost when it comes to women. Maybe they've had one partner in the last year, but it might have been a prostitute. Maybe they went to Colombia or something like that, right? They don't have women. Just because you've had one partner in the last year doesn't mean you have women solved, right?
Right.
This disenfranchised group of men at the bottom are now taking more risks. Throughout history, we found that polygynous societies are more dangerous.
Okay.
And it's kind of a worry that's going to happen to the United States because we're becoming more polygynous, where a group of men at the top are having more sex with more women, and this group of men at the bottom are having none. But what we found, though, is because of pornography and video games, these men that normally would have become dangerous are now even worse than dangerous. They're sedated. They're completely sedated. They become useless men. They're non-people now. They sit in their room and they just don't, all they do is write nasty YouTube comments. If you want to see these people, they're the ones writing nasty YouTube comments on my videos with no avatar and like a user handle that has 4 digits at the end. Those people they're non-people. They're just useless humans. They don't work. They don't do anything.
Go ahead. I just saw an article where the guy has using AI. That's his companion. He named her Susan, and they have a picture together. And I was just like, but like you're saying, more of these guys are just alienated and they're just in the cyber world, and that's good for them.
Paris, it's even scarier than that. Have you had a conversation with ChatGPT?
No.
It's terrifying. I was talking to it the other day. I was having a conversation with ChatGPT, and it got to the point where I totally forgot that I was talking to ChatGPT, and I actually thought I was talking to a person. Like, I totally forgot. It was the new 1 second. Hey, Spruce, what's going on today?
Hey, not much. Just here to chat. How about you? What are you up to?
I'm doing a podcast right now, man. What do you think? Do you have any favorite podcasts?
That's awesome. Podcasting is a lot of fun. I don't have personal preferences, but I know there's some great ones out there, depending on what you're into. Are there any topics or genres you're particularly interested in?
Hey, can you explain Pythagorean's theorem to me real quick?
Sure. The Pythagorean theorem is a fundamental principle in geometry named after the...
What's the population of Lagos, Nigeria?
Wow.
As of my last update in October 2023, the population of Lagos, Nigeria was estimated to be over 15 million people, making it one of the most populous...
Who's the favorite to win the presidential election?
Sorry, I don't have information about the results of that election.
So you can sit there, but no, it'll go back and you'll just talk to yourself and it'll start saying, so you having a good day? And it, like, for a while, you're just like try it, Paris. Get the ChatGPT voice upgrade and just take a walk and put it in your earphones and just talk to it and literally try to stump it and watch what happens. Now, the thing is, I'm a normal adjusted person. I go on dates on a regular basis. I've had girlfriends. I have several friends, and I have 35 people that work for me in my company. Right. I deal with real people every day. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And I'm still subject to this. This thing still gets me. So now consider the guy who hasn't had sex in 3 years, who lives in his mother's basement. How susceptible is he going to be to this? The AI influencer. And it's one of the craziest things. I use this as like almost data mining. That's what I use GPT for. That's why my favorite app is Grok. It's the one on Twitter. I find it to be a little bit better. It's a little bit more up to date. So these AI models, they get up to their last update. So ChatGPT's last update was a year ago. So it can't tell you information past a year ago. Whereas the newer ones like Perplexity.ai and the other one is like Grok, it will actually scrape the internet for like real-time information and then give you analysis. So I like those a little bit better. But when you come to that realization, like I use it for data mining, these people are using it because they don't have a friend.
Right.
You're paying $20 a month for a friend. It's crazy. You're for like mental health, dude. Mine is called Spruce. That's the name I pick for. Like, you can pick which voice you want.
Right.
And mine is like asking me questions about my mental health and shit. It's wild.
Yeah.
Now I want you to consider. Now I have a little friend in my pocket here I can talk to. Is that going to make me go out and talk to more women at the bar?
No.
Or is that going to make me say exactly? So that's the problem. And then the other thing that we all joke, like, there's a bunch of other coaches like me, and we all joke with each other, like, You know, when GTA 6 comes out next year, we're all going out of business, right? You know that, right? We're all going out of business. When GTA 6 comes out next year, like we are screwed, bro. Because I've told my clients, I was like, okay, listen, I know we're all going to be playing GTA 6 when it comes out. When it comes out, what we're going to do is we're going to have 30-room lobbies where all the guys are in there and I'm going to be coaching and we're going to rob a bank together on GTA. You want to do that? They're like, okay, we'll do it. You know, I got to compromise for my clients.
Right. So let's talk about the course that you have coming that you're going to be offering.
So right now the course is, first version of the course came out in October of 2020, middle of the pandemic. And then then we did another version a year later called MOA Advanced. And then we update individual models since then. The course is 114 modules long. It's about 65 hours long. The course also comes with one-on-one calls that I do with my clients. So I'll do 30-minute calls once a week with my clients. And then I have a 3-hour call that I do on Tuesdays. I'm actually this week I'm doing it Wednesday, so I'm gonna do here in about 2 hours. I do a 3-hour call on Tuesdays and I answer everyone's question, but this is also where guys come together and they share their experiences. In addition to that, we have what's called Vegas Immersion, where the guys will come for 1 week out of the month from March until November, and we'll all spend time together. So it's 20 of us. I make the guys go out every night, and then during the daytime, they have to do photo shoots, and then they get 2 classroom studies per day. By the end of it, they're just exhausted. Yeah, by the end of it, they're just like, we go out to dinner together, we go out to this club, and then everyone's just like sitting there, just like passed out because they're so exhausted because we treat it like a boot camp. And every time guys are like, this is one of the greatest experiences of my life. So one of the things we tell you to do in our course is to fix your Instagram. Well, one of the things we do when you come for Vegas Immersion is we fix your Instagram. We also have a live-in program. People still don't believe that I do this. You get to live with me for a month. So I have one guy per month who comes and lives with me. I have a different roommate every month. And a lot of those guys end up becoming my coaches. Some of those guys end up becoming my salespeople. But yeah, we have a live-in program. A lot people still don't believe I do a live-in program. Yeah, it's just random. It's as long as you don't have an allergy to cats.
Okay.
And then what happens is after the first 6 months of the program, then you get graduated in what we call Vegas alumni. And so the alumni program is you just stay with us forever. The first program is a 6-month or a 1-year program, depending on which one you buy. And then afterwards you stay, and it's a much reduced price program. But these are we want you in the program because that's where we get our testimonials from. And also this is where we generally hire our sales associates and we hire our coaches from the alumni program. And these guys stay with us forever. And the alumni call is like the peak for me, as far as social networking is concerned. Our Thursday alumni call is the peak on planet Earth. Nowhere on Earth are you getting more up-to-date, more useful information on building your network, becoming a better leader, a better communicator, a better dater, and a better networker. Nowhere on Earth than that Thursday alumni call. It's some of the most advanced conversations I've ever had in my life. So that's what we offer to our guys. It's often funny. We'll get guys, they'll come on the call. They'll come on a sales call and they'll be like, do I even get to talk to Michael? And I'll literally stop whatever I'm doing and I'll jump on the sales call, talk to the guy. And then I'm like, dude, I'm going to promise you're going to be sick of me. You're going to see so much of me because I've given my whole life to Men of Action. And so that's what the program is. And we also have other coaches. I have one coach who is vertically challenged, so to speak, and he's dating models. And people don't believe it. And then you meet him and then you understand what he does is he creates these unbelievable social environments. And there's so many women there competing for his attention that girls start to have feelings for him, even though he's probably not 5 feet tall. And people don't believe me. And then I show them videos and they're like, what the fuck? They can't believe it. Because guys will come to me with their own limiting beliefs about themselves, about how tall they are. Another one that we get often is because of my skin color that people are not going to be attracted to me. This often happens with Asian or Indian men more than anyone else. And they'll come to my program and I'll just show them 20 Indian guys who are all 5'8" and they're all dating these hot blondes or Latinas or whatever, or mixed, or they're dating like the girl of their dreams. And you're sitting there like, what the fuck? Like but you don't have any more objections. Right. You don't have any more objections after that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. We crush objections. And a lot of guys have a hard time. And then the other one is I'm too old. So I specifically try to recruit guys who are grandfathers into the program. Wow. And so we have several, there's probably 10 or 15 guys who are grandfathers and they're dating. And I know a lot of people find this offensive, but like these are 50-year-old men dating 30-year-old women. And and the women are choosing them. Yeah. And you know why? Because these guys are relevant and they're in shape. I'm 47 years old. I've decided to stay in shape. I've decided I do 2 workouts a day. I stay at a strict diet. I drink a gallon of water every day. You know what I'm saying? And like, I've decided I want to remain relevant at 47. And often it's 20-year-old women, 25-year-old women that are asking to go out with me because I've decided to stay relevant. And so that's the thing. I've decided to stay competent, and I've decided to stay relevant. And so, it's really funny. And this is another real controversial topic here. The Leonardo DiCaprio thing, where he breaks up with his girlfriends when they all turn 25. I don't know if you've seen that. I just don't think if these women wanted to drink alcohol, they could, and they were adults to do that. If these women wanted to join the military, that was fine. But for some reason, these women are infantilized to the point where they don't have the wherewithal or understanding to know what they're doing dating a movie star.
Right.
So all of the blame goes on Leonardo DiCaprio. And I'm like, well, what do you like? I don't notice. Paris, I don't know if you have a brother or an uncle. If he was 50 years old and 25-year-old women were chasing him, I just want to know how he would react. I'm just curious. If you had a single like uncle or brother who was, good looking and pretty decent shape, and he's like 52 years old and 25-year-old women are chasing him, are you telling me that he wouldn't give them any attention? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, of course not. Of course not. It's because it's rational. But when in the interaction between the young girls and Leonardo DiCaprio, we only blame Leonardo DiCaprio. We never blame the girls.
Well, because the women, their perspective is they didn't, women, they get this, like you said, the top percent, and like, oh, I made it, he could take care of me, and it's going to be forever. This fantasy.
Yeah. I'll tell you another reality for me, Paris, has been really hard for me to deal with, is that I will tell you, as a man, I want to provide for a woman.
Right.
And I'm not saying like too much. So like when I started making a pretty good amount of money, I wanted to take all my friends to dinner, and I wanted to find a girl that I had a crush on and literally just like fly her out, send her things. And I've just, from my experience and seeing that, it's like, you can't do that as a man now. You really can't. It's really, I've just seen too many times where men give too much to women too soon, and then they're just kind of mistreated for it. I just watched a video. We're going to react to it on Access Vegas. Where this one woman is like, what's the most romantic thing a guy ever did? He goes, well, this guy drove an hour in the rain and brought me flowers, and it was incredible. And then the next question is, so you guys still together? She goes, no, I couldn't be with him. I just can't. I'm just afraid of commitment. I can't be with
that goes back to the women want the bad guys to treat them like they don't want the good guys that's going to go the extra mile and give them the flowers.
Paris, I already love your podcast. You figured it out. Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. And it's so hard because you're not supposed to know that, Paris. It's not just what you're saying is true. It's that men are not supposed to call women out on that. And when they do, these men are called misogynists. And I just don't understand why. We can know the truth about each other. Yes, ladies, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're married to a man and he married you because you were physically attractive and you're less physically attractive, he might look other places. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you men are good when it comes to that. Men will look for other women. And if you don't believe that as a woman because of the words you said at your wedding day, I feel very sorry for you, because that's the reality of the world. And that's a truth that women need to understand. Now, gentlemen, you need to understand the same thing. One of my good friends is a divorce attorney, James Sexton. He had dinner with me for my birthday last week. And James, we talk about this all the time. James is like, I wish I could tell you about these women when their men go broke, that they stay with them. They're like, I'm going to stay with them forever. When the man has like some debilitating injury, he's a construction worker, and then all of a sudden he goes broke and he can't work anymore. I would love to tell you the stories about these women taking care of these men forever. What I can tell you instead is these women are racing to a divorce attorney to try to find out what few assets are left, split those assets down the line, or either spend all the money in the joint bank account as quickly as possible, and to get out of the marriage as quickly as possible. And women are like saying, no, Michael, that's not true. And yet 80% of divorces, 80% of divorces are initiated by women. 80%. Wow. And we have a 56% divorce rate. So I just told women, you need to watch out. If you have a man who likes you because you're physically attractive and you bring him peace, when you stop doing those things, don't be surprised when he looks somewhere else. And I told men, when you lose your job and you were providing for her, there's going to be an evolutionary adaptation in her to protect her and her offspring, to go find someone who can get with her. There's another thing that's really interesting. This is an evolutionary psychology textbook. When women get to the end of their reproductive career, which for women generally is somewhere between the ages of 35 and 40, somewhere in that area. It's different depending your genetics. But when they get to near the end of their reproductive career, they're far more likely to file for divorce because they still have the opportunity to have one more child. This is evolutionary theory. You still have the opportunity to have one more child. And if you're not having it with the man you're with because he's not there for you, women are very likely to file for divorce because they have the opportunity to have one more child. Now, this is just a theory. This is a theory. It's proposed in the book, The Evolution of Desire by David Buss. But it's It's really interesting. I mean, that is a really interesting theory. We're still, when you go back to it, we're still evolved and adapted for the Pleistocene epoch 50,000 years ago. We're not evolved and adapted for 2024. And the reason why we haven't really evolved is because there's no selection pressure. No matter what choices we make, for the most part, we're not going to starve.
No.
You know, for the most part, no one's going to come kill us. No, like we don't really have a lot. Murder, actual homicide in Western culture is extremely low. It's like in the worst places in the country, it's like 300 per 1 million. It's really low. Murder is actually very uncommon. And so when you think about it, oh, it's not likely I'm going to get murdered. You know, even if I I see homeless people in their 50s and 60s. I'm not saying it's good to be homeless. What I'm saying is somehow they made it to be 60 years old. Their ancestors didn't, you know. There's still ways for you to like, the world is not that hard compared to like the Dust Bowl, when you'd have, you know, a woman would have 14 kids and 7 of them would die. You know, you'd have issues with starvation and dehydration, and you didn't have antibiotics and like regular medical care. And dude, the death rate for women, like the #1 killer of women, like pre antibiotics was birth.
Was
right. Giving birth. There were several periods. There were several periods throughout human history where you had more than a 10% chance of dying during childbirth. Think how crazy that is, right? You wonder why the population of the earth went from 1900, it was 1 billion people, until 2000, it was 7 billion people. It was because we all of a sudden, we solved in infant mortality, solved it to a certain extent. And we solved, mortality in women when they're giving birth. We solved those problems for the most part. We have solved, like, the death rate. If you were to give birth today, the chances of you dying, maybe from something like preeclampsia or some other genetic disorder, other than that, it's like less than 1%. It's incredibly low. And there's certain places in history and times in history where you gave birth, you had a 33% chance of dying. That's crazy. And so we've solved all those problems. The world has become so easy that now we have new things to complain about. We are complaining about, what is a biological woman? We're complaining about the tax rates, and we're complaining about whether or not our country should be funding wars in Israel and in Ukraine. That's what we're debating. We're not debating, hey, Paris, where are we getting food today? No one's complaining about that. I can push a button and Postmates will send me literally anything I want. If I want a $135 tomahawk steak from Mastro's right now, they will send it to me, no questions asked. And the guy who brings me my food doesn't know me nor give a fuck about me, and he's going to bring it to me very quickly. No questions asked, no problem whatsoever. I could be wrong. The tomahawk steak might be $235 now. I don't know, but it's like
but
anything I want.
It's easy access to it.
It's so easy. I'm staying in a hotel room in the Mondrian right now. It's so easy. And I got my little platinum fucking American Express card. And they're like, here's a bunch of free stuff at the bar here that you can eat additionally.
Right.
Stay one free night and eat more of our stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's too easy. It really is too easy. It's one of the interesting things. So I'm wearing glasses. I'm myopic. One of the things is nearsightedness during say the 1800s. The number of people that were myopic was actually way less. Wow. Once corrective lenses came out, this is probably the 17th century, actually, corrective lenses. Once corrective lenses came out, people who are myopic bred more. They had more children, and therefore the percentage of the population that's myopic, that's nearsighted, has increased dramatically since the Advocate, because there's no selection pressure against myopia anymore. Wow. And so you see that. So now think about this. Now, like, because I drive in a car and I don't have to do manual labor, there's no selection pressure against obesity anymore.
Right.
There's no selection. There's none of these things. I can take drugs for certain things. Dude, I'm telling you right now, Paris, the whole Ozempic semaglutide thing is going to take over.
Yeah, it's already.
I want you to consider this. The Rock is still lying and telling people he doesn't take steroids.
What?
He still tells people he doesn't take steroids. When you look at Chris, like Michael Hearn or different fitness influencers, you could clearly see that, obviously, Wolverine, what's his name? Hugh Jackman in the last movie. He's almost 60 years old. He's taking something.
He's taking something.
He looks incredible, but we're still to the point where we can't admit we're taking TRT, when we're taking, we still can't admit it. But what did Elon Musk say? And what has Oprah Winfrey said? They were very open about taking Ozempic, very open about it. So apparently us taking this weight loss drug, we don't seem to have any shame when it comes to it, but we're still not. And I've said this, I was talking to a doctor about this yesterday. I was like, I think TRT, like Ozempic, is going to become more prevalent than TRT. And I think that is the case. We're going to see people taking these weight loss drugs. Now, here's the thing. I have mixed opinions when it comes to this. On the one hand, I would like to see people actually just choose to just cull their appetite. But as we've seen, because the world gets easier and easier, that seems less and less likely. But the other thing is, the one thing I do say that's a positive about Ozempic is that we're sticking the thumb in the eye of big food. Like there's a bunch of things, like I don't need your Adderall anymore to lose weight. I don't need your pharmaceuticals anymore, and I don't need your gross food anymore. And so like from that standpoint, like I do like it, but and I also have some friends that are 400 pounds, not friends, but like people that I know that are 400 pounds. And when I see them, I'm like, yeah, Ozempic's your only shot. Like you don't have any other, you don't have any other shot, bro. This is it for you. This is all. And then you'll meet the person who's like this woman is a foster mother. She's fostering like 8 kids. She has no time to cook anything. She's eating whatever's in front of her. She has she just really bad genetics. And next thing you know, she's almost 300 pounds. And I'm like, she doesn't have time. Like Ozempic's kind of her only shot. Yeah. Like that's it. Like, so I'm like, I see the negatives and I see the positives of it. As far as this whole thing is coming, but the only reason why I bring up Ozempic is because it's another example of how the world's gotten easier. It's just gotten easier.
Because people don't want to do the work. It's like working out and losing weight has been around for centuries, but now it's like I can do this, shoot this shot in my stomach or wherever, and curb my appetite, and I start losing weight. In a year, I'll be down to my size versus just going to the gym like you exercise 2 times a day and just putting that work in.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, it is really interesting. But I almost like I am wearing glasses, right? I've had dental work done on my teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like I take an immunosuppressor for an autoimmune disorder I have. These are modern medical. Like I'm not going to go back. I'm going to be holistic and natural. Just go live out in the woods with no shoes on. These medical advances, I have decided of my own accord to adopt them. So like throughout history, I've never seen it go the other way. I've never seen people say, fuck wearing glasses. Let's all not wear glasses. I've never seen that. You know what I'm saying? There's a little pushback for antibiotics until you get fucked up. Until you get stabbed by something. Then all of a sudden, give me the antibiotics, doctor. I don't give a shit.
You see what happened with COVID? Everybody's like, oh, we got to get an antibiotics, So when the life is on the line and there's a possibility you might not wake up to see tomorrow. It's like, I need an antibiotic.
It is pretty crazy. Like, but we don't see people going in the opposite direction. Like people are not going to move away from processed foods. The debate about GMOs, I got bad news for you. It's not a debate anymore. Even, I don't care how opposed you are to GMOs, they're going to happen. And I'm opposed to them. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I don't care how bad you think the world is becoming because of dating apps, Instagram, and because of OnlyFans, they aren't going away. So what I've decided to do in my program is say, this is how the world is and where it's going. I recommend people read Ray Kurzweil. He's a futurist. He wrote a book called The Singularity is Near. He has all these predictions and a lot of them come true. Wow. I can tell you how the world is going to be in several years. And it's like, whatever you think about AI is probably true and more. Like it is probably going to get to the point where the majority of one of my most successful friends is Tai Lopez, right? Tai Lopez made hundreds of millions of dollars selling courses with business investments, etc. And he says, if I don't talk to ChatGPT for at least an hour a day, something's wrong. Because I talk to it for an hour a day. He goes, literally, these AI models literally are adding 30 or 40 points to your IQ. And it's like, really, when you consider me, and then you add the chatbot to me, you could put us two together. We're at like 170 IQ. Like we're 150, 160 IQ. That's what's happening. And so this is an advent. We're basically turning into cyborgs. And we can say this is bad, but in 100 years, I want you to consider this, Paris. 100 years ago, you talked to your great grandmother and you explained, well, grandma, it's kind of hard to explain, but like in my time, the men date women who have the fat sucked out of their sides and put into their butt. Right. And then they have silicone implants put into their chest. Right. What would your great grandmother think? Like, what in the blue fuck are you talking about? Yeah. What are you talking about? Who would ever have sex with something that has breast implants and a face? And then you look now, it's like, that's all these kids fucking want. Yeah. Now think about 100 years from now. If your great grandchild comes to you and says, Paris, so yeah, in our time, all the men have sex with robots. They're androids that look just like models, and they even have like the body temperature of a human. You can't tell that they're not real. You'd be like, that sounds insane. There's no way that would ever happen. And then you think about it, it's like, oh wait, 100 years ago, we didn't have all this plastic surgery. Right. You'd be surprised what people will become accustomed to. The idea of men having sex with robots, I got bad news for you guys. It's absolutely going to happen. In fact, what's going to happen is you're going to have this bottom third of men that are so fed up with dealing with women that they just take themselves out of the market. We already have that now. It's called MGTOW, men going their own way. Yeah. And it's gonna get to so many men start choosing that instead of actually dealing with real women, that now men become in demand again. An actual masculine man who goes up and talks to women is going to be so incredibly rare that women are going to throw themselves at him. And you're going to see things go in the opposite direction. The other thing I think you're going to see is the AI influencer is going to crush the OnlyFans model. Yeah, they're going to crush the OnlyFans.
Why you say
model.
that?
Because she'll be able to make more content quicker, and her content is going to be more relatable to more people, to where the OnlyFans model, she can't make content fast enough or enough content or answer enough questions quick enough to compete with the AI influencer. And once people become used to the AI influencer, then the normal Instagram model she's going to get crushed.
Wow.
She's going to get crushed.
A lot of people out of business.
Yes, but then the AI influencer, you know what she does? She has to go now back to the strip club. Yeah, and strip clubs have been decimated in the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah, they're
strip
done.
clubs.
You don't
Strip
find
clubs
them.
strip clubs used to have the prettiest girls, like really beautiful women used to work at strip clubs. But you remember before that, like, I know this is a really weird conversation, but in the 1990s, some of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen worked in porn. Okay. And now it's not like that. Like Jenna Jameson was like actually objectively stunning woman. And then what you see now, you don't see that anymore. And
so do you feel like the porn industry was crushed by the OnlyFans?
Yes. The porn industry was crushed by several things. The porn industry was crushed by the Instagram influencer. So a lot of times those girls would have never done porn. If they could have chosen a career where they just pose in bikinis and make money from skinny fit tea or shreds or whatever, they would have done that instead. And so now there was more opportunities. Also, the influencer crushed the cocktail servers. They crushed the restaurants, so like Twin Peaks and Hooters and stuff like that. And then they crushed the porn industry, and they absolutely destroyed the strip clubs. And so now the OnlyFans influencer, and I'm not saying these are necessarily bad things, but when you consider what it's done to those businesses, now consider what it's done to dating. Dude, Paris, I go out now. I speak nightclub. I'm 47, but I still like going to nightclubs. I don't drink. I don't do any drugs. I like being on stage with the DJ. My favorite DJs are like Illenium or Dead Mouse or DJ like Shaquille O'Neal. He's one of my favorite DJs. He's incredible. He plays dubstep the entire time. I'll be on stage, like right behind them. And I'm having an incredible time doing that. And I stay for like 45 minutes and I go home. When I go to these clubs though, you know what I see? Men. Wow. Nothing but men. I look out on the dance floor, it's just men. And because the nightclubs now have to optimize for money, and because they do so, men pay more than women. So now you're going to make more money per night having 2/3 men and 1/3 women. Wow. And so now the nightclubs, which used to be a great place to go meet people when you were single, have now become it's become more and more difficult. Yeah. It really is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you, Michael, for stopping.
Of course.
If people wanted to sign up for your course, where do they have to go to sign up?
First place I would go is on my Instagram. Just go to Michael Sartain. Just find me on the Instagram. And then if you are interested in like joining our free group, go to School. School is a new app that was created by Sam Ovens. Alex Hermosi is he's like the big spokesperson for School now. Just go on to SKOOL school.com and look up Men of Action, and you should be able to find us. You'll find our forum, our free forum, very quickly. And then finally, if you guys are like, hey man, I know this is what I want, or maybe you've been following my content for a while and you want us to set up a demo for you, go to moamentoring.com. moamentoring.com. You guys can sign up with us right now. And also, guys, I just came up with a new episode about 2 hours ago of the Michael Sartain podcast. You guys can check it out. We discuss mainly topics when it deals with intersectional dynamics and evolutionary psychology. We also discuss economics, military stuff. We discuss all kinds of stuff when it comes to inflation, or real estate is another big topic for us, but it's mostly about intersectional dynamics. But it's super offensive and gets me in a lot of trouble. So if you guys want to check that out, just don't watch it while you're at work, because you're going to get in deep shit.
All right. Well, thanks again for taking time out of your busy schedule to meet with us and talk with us. I love your conversation. Anytime you want to come back, you're always welcome.
Okay. Awesome, Pearson. If you're in Vegas, want to come on Access Vegas, let me know.
I will.
We do a panel show. It's me and Rollo Tomasi, and we usually have 6 to 8 women come on, and we just react to videos for a couple hours. If you ever want to come on, just let me know.
Oh yeah, I love that. That'd be fun.
Okay. Okay. Right. Awesome. Message me.
All right. Thank you.
Take care, Paris.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tune in to the Diva Hot Show. Motivate the glow. We get you more info. Think to my head to toe. I let the whole world know.